Hello and welcome to another NS9 Emergency Podcast, MLB Trade Deadline Edition. Huge trade. David Bednar goes to the New York Yankees for three prospects. And highlighting that return is Rafael Flores, a catching first baseman prospect from the Yankees, as well as Edgleen Perez and Brian Sanchez, two single A prospects. So that's the lay of the land here. That's the return for one of our best assets at the deadline. Neil, Ryan, how do we initially feel? Let's go with Ryan first because I know how Neil feels, and I wanna hold on to that for a second. So Ryan, how do we feel?
So here's what I've been saying for a while. Like I want to trade one of the two. Bednar was probably the guy I'd say let's go and trade instead of Santana. Keep Santana, which again we still got 3 hours in this deadline, so who knows who else goes.
Yeah.
But the thing with Bednar and Keller is you cannot make the deal unless you get established guys that you know are going to help for next year. And this return, again, it just looks like quantity over quality. It's going to hinge on Flores being, what he is next year. But you traded for a catcher that's, double A, triple A this year, and he's got good numbers, but it's just, guys, it's not good enough. Like we kept seeing all the reports out there. The Tigers were interested. The Yankees were interested. Somebody at some point said bidding war. It was all sounding good. And it was like, okay, he might pull off one of these top 100 prospects. Maybe he gets Spencer Jones. Maybe he gets one of the Tigers' top couple prospects. No, same old Ben Cherington. It sucks. I don't like it. I would have you would have it's comfortable to say no, Ben. Wasn't that his line? Like you don't get the return you want. You don't get the return you want.
On Twitter that was Neil Huntington.
No. Yeah. If you don't get the return you want, you have to say no. This just feels like he kind of caved, and once again we got some prospects.
The 10,000 simulations quote was probably the worst quote of the Huntington era, and I think Cherington's made like 5 worse than that in the past year. What a disaster this is. Like, you see what relief pitching is going for in this market. Duran from the Twins goes for 2 of the top Phillies prospects. You may not like those prospects, but that's the market. Bednar has been elite all year since he came back up. He has a year and a half of control. And there's a bidding war, like Ryan mentioned. And the best Ben Cherington can do is an old catching prospect who can't catch and struck out more often in triple and double A than O'Neal Cruz did while 2 or 3 years older. Like this is, you're banking so much on a guy who was playing against kids 2 or 3 years younger than him as a 24-year-old and hoping that he's now going to come up to the majors and do something. And the other 2 guys are just kind of whatever. Like, I don't know much about them, but Flores being the highlight is a disaster. It's disgusting.
I agree.
Yeah, I think that's going to be the consensus here unless they are able to unlock something in Rafael Flores defensively. I mean, you have to, getting into that real quick, I think you do have to give credit to friend of the show, Jordan Comedina. He does a good job with the defensive work with these guys. He's helped out Henry Davis a lot, Andy Rodriguez as well. And he's, for the most part, helped out Joey Bart. Now, getting into what we were talking about, mostly what Ryan was talking about, the fact that there was a bidding war, right? You had all these teams that needed guys, they needed relief pitching, and the Pirates had one of the top names in relief pitching with David Bednar, a guy that we thought we weren't going to be able to get anything out of because he fell off, goes down to the minors, comes back up. He's a brand new man. He's back to his all-star self. And you're like, okay, this is the guy that's going to get traded at the deadline. You need to get something great for him. Before we came on, Neil, I told you, if this was a 1-1 swap, Bednar, Spencer Jones, I would have said that's fantastic. because Spencer Jones is a guy that at least you have a pretty sure thought he'll help this team out in 2026, right? He's a guy that has a lot of time in AAA, or a decent amount of time, I'd say, in AAA. He can be a corner outfielder for you. He can fill that spot going forward. Now, back to that, bidding war thing. I think you could have got a lot out of David Bednar from another team. I think you could have. You mentioned Ryan, the Tigers. I think you could have got Kevin McGonigal from the Tigers for David Bednar. Maybe even add in Tyler Rogers, because you don't know anything about him. You just got him. Like, yeah, sure, we know he's an established relief pitcher, but you have no ties. You have no ties to that player, to that relief pitcher. So throw him into a deal, maybe slightly overpay in that aspect, and get a guy like Kevin McGonigal from Detroit. Fill that shortstop spot that needs filled immediately, because we know IKF should be gone, right? We need someone to play third base. We need someone to play that middle infield. And McGonigal could have been it. Maybe not.
Yeah, I don't think the Tigers were gonna move on those two, or him or Max Clark. Because the Tigers literally have picked up like a bunch of. Speaking of, they're. I guess my point is they picked up 2 scraps, right. but you're.
My point is, you got to swing for the fences,
right? But
with your top asset.
And that's what I'm alluding to. Like, okay, if you ask for McGonigal, or you ask for Max Clark, or you ask for Spencer Jones, if you're not getting that, then don't pull the trigger. Like, you still have Bednar for another year. So, and there was like people are in here, saying that the Tigers would have never done that, and they probably weren't, because they're out there like being real cheap right now, and not trading their prospects. But if you're not getting the return that you want, like, didn't Ben or somebody in the organization say they wanted a top 5 prospect? Well, this ain't it for Bednar. So at this point, like, if he turns around and trades Santana too for another like round of prospects, I'm going to be really ticked.
Yeah, because you needed it. In my opinion, you needed to keep one of the two if this was going to be the return for one.
Yeah, there is zero reason Santana should be hitting the market if this is what we got for Bednar. I don't think we get Clark. I don't think we get McGonigal. Like, obviously you want to swing for the fences, but the Tigers clearly chose a path. They kind of chickened out of the deadline, and they got a bunch of rentals. They stayed small because they didn't want to part with those guys, and that's okay. But when we look around the league and see what other people are doing, like, for example, like right after this trade broke, the Padres just acquired Freddie Furman from the Royals. Freddie Furman can't hit. He's a catcher who can't hit. And the Padres gave up more MLB talent to get this catcher who can't hit than what we got for an elite closer in Bednar. So I don't know what we were thinking. I don't know what our talent evaluators are doing. I don't know if we overplayed our hand. Whatever. Clearly, Ben Cherington has shown time and again that he can't read the market. He can't execute trades. He can't fleece people. He has no business being in charge of this team. And this is 6 years of the same nonsense over and over again.
So funny you mentioned that, because I wanted to bring up, there's a lot of comments in here and on Twitter saying, how was Ben Cherington allowed to even make this deal at the deadline? That's the problem, guys, because he's coming back. Like, Cherington clearly isn't, I tweeted out yesterday and said, I think even Ben knows this is a big deadline for him. Like, he's there's nowhere to hide for him anymore. Like, these trades that he's made haven't been it. So I think there was a lot of pressure on him to make a deal. Like, he had to hit home runs with these deals. And here we go. It's more of the same, which tells me that he seems pretty comfortable with Bob Nutting, and that they're just going to keep him around. And that's why he was allowed to make this, allowed to work the draft. He was allowed to work this deadline, and he fumbles another trade. I mean, this return is just not good enough. And again, if those teams aren't giving you a top 5 or a top 100 prospect, then you keep Bednar. You didn't have to make this move. Like, you have some leverage still at this point. He's got control. And I'm not saying go out and get a top, 10 prospect in baseball like the Padres got for, the A's got for Mason Miller, but a top 100, a team's top 5 prospect, something. No, you get a couple prospects in A-ball and Flores, who's the Yankees number 8. So it's just, but that's, Ben Cherington clearly feels comfortable, and he has, Bob Nutting bamboozled. and just he knows he's coming back.
Yeah, and I mentioned this to Neil earlier that I almost feel like he had some sort of stigma of like, I can't get rid of our best asset and only get one player back. This is going back to me wanting Spencer Jones. I think he was under this impression that if I trade our greatest asset, I need to get more than one or two players. And that's why you have these two A-ball players involved in this trade that have no business being in this trade, because what are they? They're most likely not going to turn into anything. Looking at their Fangraphs pages, like, they are just not good players. And then on top of that, add a organizational top 10 prospect in Flores for the Yankees that leaves a lot to be desired. He strikes out a ton, this guy. Like, it's almost a 30% strikeout rate this year. So what is the plan there? What is the plan with Flores going forward? Because he's also a first baseman. And I told Neil,
can't catch. Like he
can't catch.
He can't the runners out. He doesn't receive the ball well. Like, so you've got a positionless guy who's, he's going to be on the team in 26. Like, that's obviously the case. Like, he's supposed to be the help that's supposed to help this team in 26. But where does he play? He's not playing over Horwitz at first. You can't really catch him there. You can. It's going to be a disaster. Right. And for all we know, Kutch is coming back and DH. And so your big idea of all this is to have someone come in and play in a position where two other guys already are, or in a position that he can't play. He is what we thought Henry Davis was going to be catching. So from a roster fit, it's also bad. Unless he really, I don't know.
No, I
told
you. You're making good points because if he's going to play first, like, we got a first baseman. Wasn't that your big acquisition in the offseason? So if he's a DA, like I said, I would have been better off just going and getting somebody that's actually in the majors right now, that, like, we know is a major leaguer, even if they're not like an established hitter. But like, this was it's just, I don't, like you said, roster construction, it's just not good either. We don't know, like, is Flores even good? Will he hit in the majors? Who knows? But at this point, he's going to play some first and DH.
Yeah, I told Neil, I said, what is this guy going to be? Just a platoon guy at first base with our big offseason acquisition?
Mm-hmm.
It's just, it doesn't really make a lot of sense to me. Hopefully, I mean, for our fandom's sake, they do something fantastic with this, but I just don't see a path.
Yeah, unless Kutch isn't coming back next year. Like, if this is it for Kutch, then sure, he's the everyday DH going into next year.
I don't know how you would bring Kutch back if Flores is your DH. I mean, you know what I mean? Like, you
can't carry two of them on the roster.
Right. The only way
People
you convince him to come back,
if we bring Kutch back at that.
Right. The only way you convince Kutch to come back is if you can convince him to be like a coach. And I don't think that's what he wants to do. I think he wants to play till the wheels fall off, and there's still a little bit of tread on those tires.
It just kills me. Like I said, Ben he had to have known this was a big deadline for him. It's just more of the same. It's business as usual with him. Like, he's getting A-ball prospects. Like, Ben, do you think they're going to be up in your tenure? Like, you know what I mean? Like, do you have year 8 and year 9 that I don't know about already signed up behind closed doors or what? So, like, it's just like, you have to, like, he should have been telling teams, like, I need guys that are in the majors or right there. Like, and I don't know. Yeah. Like Doug says, Ben probably thinks Flores can play shortstop. Who knows?
Right.
But it's bad, dude. And, Nutting already, nixed the Bednar trade supposedly in the past. Now he was good with trading him here, but for this, I mean, it's like, man, that's what I said. Like, I don't want Keller to get traded because I don't trust Ben Cherington to pull in an established major leaguer. Like, he doesn't, you know what I mean? Like, it's just going to be more of the same if they trade Keller.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, that was also like how it went. Like, all the talk about trading Keller, all the talk about trading Bednar, it's all about, like, we were going to get some established MLB help to really help us out if we trade these guys, which is why we need to push them out the door. That's what the market says. And I think, we kind of just knew that Cherington wasn't going to get that kind of return. It's not what he does. So I'm not surprised, but I am angry. Like that.
Yeah.
what does it say about the rebuild? This is his first trade. This is his only good major league player he's ever traded for. And now 6 years later, he's traded him for nothing. For maybe a platoon DH.
Yeah, and I highlighted it in one of our short content posts on TikTok and what have you. But it was about Mitch Keller, right? And how he is the organization's, like, that's your win. You were able to take this guy from the worst pitcher in the majors to an all-star. And then we're having conversations about him being traded. Now you have the best trade you made as a GM. And now you've put yourself in a position that now you have to trade that acquisition. Like, it's just utter failure.
Yeah, I mean, maybe you guys are excited about the other two guys, but
no.
Yeah, in 4 years. Matt here says in the comments, Pirate fans, that we overvalued Bednar.
Nope.
I mean, look, we're seeing it, and it's not just Mason Miller trade. Like we're seeing relievers with a year or two of control getting better hauls than this. And dude, Bednar has been nails for 4 or 5 seasons. And he has a year of control. Yes, he had a hiccup last year. He's went to AAA this year, but he's turned it around. He's been lights out. Like, we're not overvaluing him. I'm not saying he's worth what the A's got for
If
Miller.
anyone's overvaluing him, it's me. That's the only person doing it.
No, because the Cardinals got more for a rental of Helsley. The Mets got more for a rental of Tyler Rogers, whichever one of the twins.
The other one, Taylor.
Sure,
Tyler.
maybe we do overvalue him, but if you objectively look at the market and what Bednar was what other relievers were going for, less control with less pedigree than what Bednar had, then this is still a disaster of a trade, no matter how you slice it. Because we've been talking about Flores, the highest rated prospect here is a 19-year-old catcher whose ISO is and his slugging add up to less than 300 this year.
Yeah. And he's 19. Yeah.
I said this to my friends. I was a former cross country runner. I am a skinny dude. I weigh more than this Edgleen Perez guy, and he's a catcher.
Not good.
That's just not the type of. There's not going to be any power there. So you're basically trading for a glove first catcher who's a teenager.
Yeah, these relievers are going for decent hauls. And it's just, again, every move the Pirates make at this point, and Ben Cherington needs to be to make the team next year better. And we said it for weeks. If you trade Bednar and Santana, how are you replacing that production next year? So if you do trade one of them or both of them, you need to bring back guys that are going to perform and be on the team next year and make the team better. And this just, sorry to say, it doesn't do it. And, yes, we'll see what Flores ends up becoming, but I don't even know where he's going to play. It's like you went and basically got a DH. And it's disappointing. It's disappointing as a Pirate fan. It's just more of the same. This is the reality we're stuck in with our GM and owner.
Well, the good thing for you, Ryan, is that you're a Brooklyn Dodgers fan.
That's right. Yeah. I think they've won more since the Pirates have.
I mean, listen, I'm just going off of FanGraphs. Perez is the number 6 Yankees prospect on FanGraphs so I like that more than Pipeline, but still not good. No top 5 prospect like he was banging the table for. Ben Cherington continues to be the master of negotiation.
Yeah. And again, we're not done yet. There's still a couple hours left in this deadline. And where's the rental deals? Andrew Heaney, fam, those guys should be gone. That should have been done by now. Just go get whatever for them. But
right, you should be getting cash considerations for those people at least.
And here we are trading Bednar for some A-ball prospects and a DH in AAA.
Yeah, someone you're just kind of hoping will figure out the whiff issues on a team famous for whiff issues that don't fix that stuff. It's something.
I've been scouring Twitter to try and see if another deal has been done, because there's 2 hours and 20 minutes left in the deadline. There's nothing. Like Ryan's saying, you have all these people like Pham and Heaney that were like, when we signed them, we're like, those guys are gone. And they're still here with 2 hours and 20 minutes left. They should have been gone yesterday, man. Like, that shouldn't be the priority at the deadline. Like, that should have been your priority the week of. But when you're at the deadline, I just am dumbfounded.
Yeah. I mean, it's like no top 100 prospect. No, like the Pirates are now a worse team in 2026 right now. And I don't think that's debatable unless like you're really, really big on Flores. But the stated goal going into this deadline was make the team better for 26.
Yeah.
What has he done to make this team better? What move has he made?
Nothing.
I mean, what he's done and what the trend I see is that he's done enough to keep himself here, Like he made the draft picks last year, right? He got Connor Griffin, the number one prospect in baseball now. That, in my opinion, keeps him around because this owner, Bob Nutting, is going to be like, well, you got him here. I guess I need to keep you here until that guy comes up because he's the number one prospect in baseball at 19 years old. I don't want the next guy coming in and trading him away for more prospects. At least that's how I see it from a business standpoint, a baseball business standpoint. And then you have things like this today where you get a catcher who is, I mean, for lack of a better term, a reclamation project of a prospect. He, like you said, you keep saying, Neil, he can't catch. So you got to figure out what he can do. Mm-hmm. And when you get a prospect that you have to figure out what he can do that is supposed to help you next year, that just doesn't bode well. But that's the project that this owner is going to allow Ben Cherington to figure out and see through. And it's just moves like that continue to happen where it's like, well, we could get something out of this and not, hey, this is going to help us now. There has been none of that because if he took a risk like that on a guy that he thought could help them today and it doesn't work out, at this point, he's probably out the door. And I know he wasn't the guy that made the trade for Chris Archer back in the day. But I think that still looms heavy in this organization. And it should not. Mm-hmm. That was what? I don't even know. 6 years ago at this point? Almost 10? I don't even know.
2018?
2018. 7 years ago.
Yeah, I think Bob is permanently scarred from extending Gregory Polanco, which explains why we haven't had a whole lot of like free agents, multi-year deals, and he's scarred by the Archer trade. Yeah. And so, I think you're 100% right. Like Bob is terrified of this stuff, won't sign off on it. But at the same time, I really want to know what that package that he struck down last year was.
Right.
Like if this is acceptable, what the heck was being proposed last year that wasn't?
I mean, it'd be funny, it'd be great, but it was probably more of the same, Neil. It was just, it was probably just a handful of guys, quantity over quality and nobody that really moves the needle. But, look, they traded Hayes yesterday. He's going to make what he's making $7-8 million. They trade Bednar, who was, he's probably going to make a decent amount in arbitration in the offseason. So, you have that factor to it as well. Like, we know what attendance is this year so far. We know, is payroll going to increase? It's almost like they need to make these moves to just afford the rest of the guys and just guys' salaries going up for the next year. And look, the problem with that isn't that they traded Bednar. Like, that's not the problem here. No. It's that you needed to trade him for a return that was going to work for next year. Yeah. And this, doesn't really do it.
No, I was a full vocal supporter of trading Bednar this year. Like this was the time to do it, but he still messed it up.
Of course, that's what Ben does, baby. It just, it's brutal. It's brutal, man. Jim, this trade is worse than I could have imagined. I mean, we shouldn't really be shocked anymore with Ben Cherington. We saw it with that he went out and made the Horowitz deal in the offseason, and then the Nationals go out and get Lowe for a less. They give up less than what we give up, and Lowe's performing better than Horowitz, of course. So it's just time and time again. Naylor went, and wasn't Naylor. Now Naylor was more of a rental, but whatever. It's just he's always got the worst return. He's always getting you see all these other trades and people are getting good hauls, and it's just Ben's always a step behind.
And Horwitz is another example of what I was saying, where it's like you get this guy who had just come up to the majors the year prior, was showing some flashes, but there was no solid, this is the guy, There was no solid evidence that Spencer Horwitz was going to be your answer at first base. Now, we all hope that he will be. We hope that he will develop into that. But that's what's kind of keeping Ben around, is that hope that they can develop. And we've seen time and time again, not very good at developing anybody on offense. So I really don't understand what Bob Nutting thinks is going to happen if nothing has changed.
I mean, Bob can't be happy with this, right? Like, he just he said there's a moves that going to keep him around, but you just traded your cash cow, the guy you sold a stadium out for a dumb bobblehead, and your best is again the Yankees' 8th best prospect. How Bob likes his money, and no one's going to be showing up to the park to watch Flores. He's not maybe his debut will get a couple hundred more people in the door for sickos like us who know who he is. But this doesn't help the Pirates commercially. It doesn't help the Pirates get better. I can't imagine Bob's going to be too happy. I'm surprised he greenlit this.
It's because Bob, he doesn't get it. He doesn't care about winning. He doesn't get it. All he sees is, hey, I'm saving you probably $9 million or whatever Bednar is going to make next year. And we'll use that money and go get another 38-year-old Tommy Pham or somebody else to play the outfield, and we'll just piece together this again. And then, hey, we got Paul Skeens, Bob. We got Nick Gonzalez for a full year, and Horowitz will be healthy, and we'll make the same payroll. I mean, that's really what all Bob cares about. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't know why he shot it down the first time, but hey, Bednar's salary got a little more expensive. He was going to go up again in arbitration, so we better trade him and shut it down.
Yeah. Once someone gets expensive, they are no longer a Pittsburgh Pirate. It's been true.
Expensive is $6 million and $8.5 million, respectively.
It's been like that our entire lives, Neil. I don't know about Ryan. Ryan was born a year after Doug. I guess.
A long time ago, a couple years after Doug, but. No, it's been look, Rob here says payroll is definitely going down next year. Even if it doesn't go down, even if it remains the same, which it probably will, they have to make these moves to like I said, other salaries go up. Guys are in arbitration, you're going to have to, you have other guys hitting free agency, you're going to have to bring some people in to fill the roles. So even if you stay at the same payroll, they have to make these moves. That's what I say. That's why I'm real worried that Keller's $15 million, even though Keller's producing and we know he's valuable and what he means to this team in the rotation. If they make a Keller trade, Ben might just turn around and get whatever he can for it. And that's really the fear. And that's why I just don't want to trade Keller, especially now. But
Keller cannot be moved at this point.
Yeah, no, it would be a disaster. If this is the return they're getting for Bednar, Keller is going to come back for nothing productive. Yeah, I'm upset.
Yeah.
I mean, do we have much else to discuss on this trade specifically? I know we kind of got off topic there, but I think we needed to vent some frustration, and I feel better.
Yeah, the Renegade has thrown his last pitch and for the Buccos. So
I might be biased here, but
do we want to talk about David Bednar?
I mean, the Yankees just traded for a Bird. What's his name?
Jake Bird, yeah.
Jake Bird. Jake Bird's a Yankee. The Rockies got a better prospect in my eyes than what we just got for Bednar.
Who did they get?
What'd they get?
Rock Riggio, who's a really, really fun player. He's kind of like Flores, but better in pretty much every way. So we're really hot here. So thank you, Ben.
Is he? Where's he at? Is he in the majors?
No, he's in Double-A, I think.
Oh, okay.
How you spell that name?
ROC.
Oh, I put a K.
Yes, ROC.
I found it. I got it.
ROCK. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like you see all these moves come down before and after, and it just always seems to be a better return than what Ben gets, and that's just that's Ben's calling card. I mean, it is.
He's a second baseman who strikes out less than Flores. He's younger. He's actually 2 years younger, 23, and has a 170 WRC plus on the year in the minors. Like it's just better.
Now
he's a second baseman, not a positionalist catcher.
To be fair, Riggio, whatever, how do you say his name? Baseball America has him ranked 22nd in the Yankees organization. Flores is 8. But like you said, he's probably a better fit for the Pirates at this point. But that's why I said, like, I would have been better off just going and getting anybody that's actually in the majors than this return for Bednar. And it's just
I was expecting Everson Pereira, to be honest. That's who I was like. I was
that name's been
Everson
tossed around.
Pereira was going to be in there. Surprised he's not, but because he gave an interview that was kind of like, my career in New York's done. So I figured he was going to be gone this deadline, but we couldn't even get that.
But like Bridge to Bucktober says, Rocky's got the 10 and 28 from the Yankees. We got 8 and 14, but Jake Bird stinks. Like, that's the difference here. Like, Jake Bird isn't good. So like David Bednar is obviously a ton more track record,
like,
and he's a lot better than Jake Bird.
This is what you should have got back for Bednar.
I would have been upset with Riggio too. Like, that's just how badly Ben failed. But I think Riggio's better than.
If you would have got Flores and Riggio, get rid of the other prospects, this would have been probably what.
Yeah, where was the bidding war that we heard about on Twitter?
Right. How was
who was somebody else offering a worse prospect?
Did they cut the auction short?
Something. Shout out to Lango Big Mac here. He says with the super chat, done with the team, absolutely pathetic. 2029.
While we're doing that, let me also shout out Howard Black, who gave us a super early in the show. Maybe Ben's worst work yet, which is remarkable. Yes. And then also Hayden Pauls. Thank you for being a member for 2 months.
Thank you. I mean, were the Yankees, were they not that willing to trade like Ben Rice? Was Ben Rice untouchable?
Yes.
Right. That was another.
They did not want to leave. They did not want to trade Ben Rice. I knew that going in. But.
I mean, Ben Rice is good, but it's not like he's, and we all saw the quote, where the Yankees GM or somebody said that they said they would only trade Spencer Jones for Paul Skeens, which is just an absurd. I think, well, it's just an absurd comment if that was accurate. But
that was some rage bait.
Yeah, right. Clicks. But yeah, it's again just Ben underwhelms on a trade, quantity over quality, and that's Ben's MO. That's why people are like, well, that's why we don't want him making any more trades besides Heaney and Pham or something.
Yep.
So I don't know.
You guys remember that newspaper article of the promise of tomorrow? It's got Bednar, then Hayes, then Reynolds all line up. Remember that one? Yeah. 2 or 3 of them are gone because Ben Cherington and Bob Nutting have failed the city, failed the fans, and it's just kind of summed up in this one shit trade. It's so bad. Like, the rebuild has failed. We have traded the guys we have acquired for the first rebuild. Hayes is gone. Bednar is gone. They're trying to trade Keller. They want to dump Keller. I don't know how Ben survives this year. I know you guys keep saying he's coming back. I don't know how that's possible.
Because Bob Nutting doesn't know what the hell he's doing. That's the only reason. Shout out to Richard Patterson. That's the only reason. Get
this guy out of here. This is my buddy Griffin.
Oh, we got Yankee fans in here.
Yankees fan here. Flores is a good young prospect who will be a big.
He's not young. He's 25.
If he was backlogged, Griffin, we'll just.
But Neil,
we would have taken
to a Yankees fan, that's young because they don't bring up 20-year-olds.
Backlogged by Escara, the 30-year-old catcher with 30 career games. Like, are we serious here?
That's what I'm saying. David Rogers said, "How do we get a similar package for a reliever that has a 5-year A?" That's the thing. Jake Bird stinks.
Sorry, I shouldn't be. I think that was rage bait for Cody, and I got the rage baited myself.
If anybody overvalues their prospects, it's Yankees fans. I know people were saying we overvalued Bednar, but thanks for watching, Griffin. But I don't know. I'm out of words, guys. It's just who knows what the next 2 hours holds for this organization with Ben.
Yeah. Do we want to quickly just say some stuff about Bednar? Since he is a Pittsburgh guy. I think he deserves a send off of some.
Should I get my lighter out here as you give your monologue?
Yeah. I'm just gonna wax poetic for a couple minutes here. Yeah. David Bednar was a Pittsburgher. He is a Pittsburgher. He is a guy who Jim keeps saying it, right? A good baseball player that wanted to play here. And you knew he was going to get traded. You knew it was going to be for something, but not something like this. You thought you were going to get a decent package for this guy. And I think we all would have been okay with that. But the fact that you didn't get the package you probably should have got, that you cut the bidding war short, it puts a stain on what could have been a great tenure for David Bednar in Pittsburgh. Obviously wish him the best. He's one of the best we've seen. Obviously we've had, going back to Hanrahan, we had Hanrahan, Grilly, Melanson. We've had great closers for this organization since I've been a fan. And just put him on that list. Really going to miss him. Also upset that I can't post the memes I wanted to post now because I made a meme. It was a Yankee meme. It was a Yankee Bednar meme. We just didn't get the right player back for me to post it. So,
no, it's sad. Love a good Pittsburgh guy. We probably do overvalue him because of that, but he was so good for so long. He came back. And he was really bad last year, and he came back. He got demoted. 2-time All-Star, gets demoted, and I think a lot of guys would be like, "What the heck is this?" But he took it in stride, came back up, extremely dominant, and this is what we get for him. This is it's inexcusable, and I won't be cheering for the Yankees, but I hope he pitches well in the playoffs because I can't bring myself to cheer for the Yankees.
Well, I might be going to more Yankees games now. You're going to get us demonetized, Ryan. Turn that off.
That was just my daughter singing in the background, guys. That's all. But no, I echo everything you guys said about David Bednar. He was a guy that, everyone, there's another thing too. Don't trade him because this guy actually wants to be here. And it's true. Not many free agents or stuff come in and want to be here. And, they traded for Bednar. It was literally one of, him and Falter were two of the only good pickups that Ben has had. And he was good for a long time. And yeah, he went to AAA this year and didn't mope about it. Didn't, tear the team up in the media or, pout. And he came back and was dominant. So, it sucks to see him go. And again, I was okay with him going as long as we got a good return, and we didn't. So it really sucks. And no more Renegades. So they got to keep Santana. You got to keep him.
Yeah. There should be like duct tape around him. Ben is not allowed to get anywhere near. He's in bubble wrap. Don't let him touch Denny Santana. He's off limits if this is the garbage you're going to give us back.
Yeah. Well, The lawman has put an end to his running, and he's so far from his home now. Thank you, David Bednar. We appreciate you. But
the jig is up, Ben. The jig is up.
The news is out.
This is off the rails.
All right. Thank you guys. We're going to be having a deadline countdown show starting at 5:30 with the rest of the crew. I won't be on. I don't know if Ryan will be on. It'll probably be
I'm clocking out for the day.
It's the A team.
Unless there's a Keller trade or something.
Right. So the A team of DiNardo, Jim, and Tyler will be on for the countdown show at 5:30. Keep an eye out for that. But until then, let's just hope this team stays together. a little bit. I don't know what to say. Like,
fire Ben Cherington. That's all I
yeah,
have
let's
to
hope
say.
Ben Cherington gets fired in the next 2 hours. That'd be great.
Yeah.
All right. We'll see you guys later. Thanks again.
Peace.
All right, that wraps up this episode of North Shore 9. Thanks so much for tuning in. Whether you're listening on the podcast or catching us on YouTube, if you enjoyed the show, please give this video a thumbs up and don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. It really helps us grow. And if you're listening on the podcast, a quick review goes a long way in helping others find the show. Plus, be sure to tell a friend about us. There's always room for more here in the NS9 community. And for those looking to support us a little more, consider joining our Patreon, become an MVP member, and get exclusive perks while helping us continue to bring you more of the Pirates content you love. Thanks again for all your support, and let's go Bucs.